Today on Suncoast View, is it legal for businesses to charge you an extra fee for paying with a credit card in Florida? We'll discuss.
We turn back time to when our dads were just kids. A Suncoast toy collector brings us classic toys to bring some Father's Day nostalgia.
And we go even further back to discover a Suncoast before time with South Florida Museum. All that and more right now on Suncoast View. Welcome to the show, and a big welcome to Kathy Carson-Fryman.
Thank you for having me here. I'm so glad to be back.
Yes, we love having you here. And you know, you are a very accomplished Suncoast attorney. I know you also had a career in television, but you will always be Linda's daughter.
Yeah, when I come here, I'm definitely Linda's daughter.
And now she's my next door neighbor.
Yes.
I live next door to her. She's so thrilled.
No, it's been a week, so.
We have been following Linda's move, and we feel like we've been there right along with her, but you actually have been there with her.
I've literally been there right along with her with a big box in my hand, like, move this over there.
I have a real problem, though. The kids love popsicles.
Oh.
And I want the kids, you know how grandmothers are, I want the kids to love me. So I really stocked up on popsicles. Who knew they could eat 24 in one day?
I left them there for like an hour. I came back. They were like blue and purple and orange and all over their hands. They'd eaten an entire box. I'm like,
They
"I have to
like
stop
me.
this."
Oh, yeah,
they
you know
like
what?
you.
You didn't have to buy their affection. I know they liked you anyway, but now you are the next door neighbor, your grandma with popsicles.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to have to go to rehab to learn how not to give kids popsicles.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Because it's so rewarding.
well, Kathy, we have been waiting for Linda to move because we've been excited for her. We've also been excited for her to be done with the move, because I know it can be stressful.
It took me 7 months to sell my house.
Yes.
I was happy to move too.
But we are most excited for the stories now that will be
right?
happening on your block. We're very excited about the next door neighbor situation.
I'm sure they will be plentiful.
Yes, yes. Well, all right, it's a great day that you're here. It's a great week. It's also, this is a milestone day, and it might not be one that's already on your calendar. Today is actually the 25th anniversary of Jurassic Park.
Yay,
And to
Jurassic
commemorate,
Park.
Producer Matt made us a new logo for today. This is our
nice.
Jurassic Park-inspired Suncoast View.
He's aiming toward you, Joe.
I know. I know. I better be careful, or I'll be lunched pretty quickly. Well, it's hard to think that 25 years ago, Jurassic Park opened. It seems like it was just a few years ago, because actually I think I remember being a 20-something-year-old. But the truth is, it opened on June 11th, 1993. A couple fun facts: Spielberg made Jurassic Park with author Michael Crichton only after their movie version of ER did not get made.
What?
Yes, and of course later ER became a hit TV series, but this was their second project, their project on the back burner.
Wow,
I
did
loved
too.
this movie.
I saw it in high school with my high school boyfriend. I can't remember. I can't remember which boyfriend, but I remember.
You remember the movie. Speaking of remembering, producer Matt also told us that people always remember the dinosaurs in the film, but they actually only appear in 15 minutes of the film.
Oh, that could
Really?
be true.
Yeah, so it's all the anticipation, I think, and the sound. Yes.
So fear is building up.
Yes.
It's not what you really see.
Yeah.
It's all the suspense. But this is just in time for the newest movie, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, will be out next week. Are the kids into dinosaurs?
My son is very
yes.
into dinosaurs, but I think that Jurassic Park might get him out of dinosaurs.
Yes,
Might be
yeah.
a little scary for him at this point.
It might get them out of sleeping for a
Yes,
little while, too. You'll get a
exactly.
lot of late-night knocks at your door.
I've got popsicles ready.
No. But I mean, really, we don't have to fear dinosaurs.
No, I
coming.
hope, of all the things that we're dealing with in today's society, I hope dinosaurs doesn't come back. We are going to learn a little bit more about Florida's history with dinosaurs, and with South Florida Museum will be here later
Oh,
on.
I love that.
Yes.
Real life.
Yes. We'll find out how close we were to those velociraptors. Well, we want to welcome in the kitchen. I deal with stress and fear by food. So welcome to Paul from Burger Fi. Welcome. What are we making today, Paul?
I'm going to be making the candied bacon tomato jam that comes on our CEO burger. It's one of our higher quality beefs, a mixture between a Wagyu and brisket blend.
Ooh.
Can anybody have a CEO burger?
Anybody can, yes. Not just CEOs.
We don't have to be a CEO. Does it stand? Does it CEO for Chief Executive Officer?
Yes.
All right. See, I thought it would be like cucumber cucumber, extra onion, or something.
No, one of our executives created the burger about 2 years ago is when we put it on the menu.
Oh,
So
well, that's fair then. He should have it named after
Yeah,
him.
I want to hear. I want to see what
Yes.
that's like.
think I'd
What
want
it's
my
like to
own
be a
name.
CEO.
No, it's true. I want the Joey burger. If that's the case. Well, we can't wait to join you later on and to
Sounds
make
great.
all those ingredients you mentioned sounded delicious. So
They
I'll
did.
take any combination of them. Well, I was up a little late last night because I was watching the Tony Awards, which is kind of my Super Bowl. And if you got a chance to catch it, you may have been impressed by all the talent on stage. There was tons of great shows they premiered. But if you looked closely, you may have seen a familiar face. Booker High School graduate, that's not him, but that is Drew Foster danced in the ensemble of Summer, the Donna Summer musical.
my.
So we talked a little bit about this show a few months ago, but 3 different actresses played Donna, but in the back, in the ensemble, was Drew Foster. He graduated from Booker VPA. He's been with the show since it first started in La Jolla, and he's part of the original Broadway cast now.
He is gorgeous,
Yeah,
too.
and a good kid. I did shows with him. I mean, he was a little child when I did theater with him here, but a really nice, smart, engaging kid. And he was one of those kids where you thought, oh, I hope he does well because he deserves it.
Did you think that he was that outstanding?
I did. We all did, actually. It was like, you know, you see a kid or a child performer, and you're like, oh man, that's it. That kid is going. I better get a picture with him now.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to know what he's doing next so we can all watch.
Yes, yes. Well, he's just opened in a hit Broadway show. So
Yes.
good
Oh,
news for
wow.
him. Yes, and good news for Booker, because it's always nice for a performing
Yeah.
arts school to have
It's amazing.
alumni that
Yeah.
are at the top of their field.
And
So-
it makes all of us feel very proud, like we have accomplished something.
Yes, yes. I had very little to do with his talent, but I'll take a little piece of the credit. So a nice way to start the week is to celebrate a little Suncoast hero. So it is time for our first hot topic. And credit cards are all about convenience, or at least they should be, but it comes at a cost at places like the DMV and the tax office here on the Suncoast. Florida law says it is illegal for a business to charge a fee for a customer to use a credit card, unless it is a government entity or public utility. Then the law says it's okay because it's a convenience fee and defrays government expenses. But vendors, such as retailers, for example, typically cannot charge customers a fee for credit cards. Did you know about this?
Yeah, well, I knew the government could
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to pay my income tax with my credit card, and therefore I'd get miles. But when I found out how much it would cost me,
Mm-hmm.
then I decided not to do it.
There's that fee if you want to pay online. And you can still do, I believe, an electronic check or anything else. But if it's a
But if you
public
charge
entity,
it-
That convenience fee.
Yes.
And when it comes to, when you go to the pump and you see the cash and the credit, like you think, oh, that's a really good price, and then you start filling up and you're like, wait a second, and it's because the credit card price is different. This does not apply to that.
oh, yes, which I don't think is fair, especially if I pay with debit at a
Yeah,
gas
that's
station.
cash,
In my
right?
mind, I'm like, well, that's instant cash to you.
Yes.
That's not credit, but I still get charged the credit fee.
As long as they let you know that there's a difference in price, it's kind of saying, there's not a fee if you walk inside.
Yes, yes, you know. I thought it's interesting, and I don't know that I've seen it recently, but businesses that will say, oh, you cannot use a credit card if it is less than $10.
Yeah.
Say. And I don't carry cash a lot, so
I don't either.
there are times where I'm thinking, well, I can't buy anything. Then
And they're thinking, well, if I can't pass that fee on to you, then I can't afford to let you use a credit card.
yes,
Yeah.
and can they? The language sounds a little bit vague. Like, can they enforce it, or if push came to shove, and I said, I want this $9 item, and I will only pay with card.
There's been a lot of court battles about this particular law. So, I mean, whether it stands the test of time, who knows? But, on a daily basis, what it means to you is that when you go into, a smaller retail establishment, you're not going to see that credit card fee. That's, but if they want to not allow you to use a credit card, that's their prerogative.
Sure. I typically feel bad, like if I use a coupon or a gift card and there's a balance left over that I have to pay, if it's only a couple dollars, I feel so bad using my debit card that I'll buy a bunch of other things so that it'll be a greater thing. So I go home with things I didn't need.
You're a
or didn't
perfect
want.
customer.
I guess. Yeah, they see me coming. They must be
That
happy.
should be another career. You should be a professional customer.
Exactly, I could upsell people. Well, it was sad news last Friday. The legacy of legendary chef Anthony Bourdain continues to be felt across the world, especially at independent local restaurants, like the dozens right here on the Suncoast. Bourdain sadly took his own life last week, but the impact of his globe-trotting trips to highlight local cuisine will live on. Bourdain was seen as a regular guy telling regular people great places to eat local food. Even Chef Fran here on the Suncoast at Louis' Modern offered Bourdain's honey agave chicken on the menu just a couple of years ago. Anyone else follow his travels and his work?
Yeah, I loved him, and I think this is so sad because he had a voice right now that we need so much that was basically saying, even though this looks strange to you, don't be afraid of it. You know, go inside and meet these people and you'll find out that they're just like you and I, but you know, things just look a lot or taste a lot different.
Yes.
And so I think that was important now.
And the concept of eating, going to local restaurants. I talked to a bunch of people over the weekend, and a bunch of us were trying to pinpoint where did that really start? And a lot of people said that he was one of the big drivers of that initiative to go to a local restaurant, support.
How sad that he didn't know. He couldn't feel. He must have known intellectually the love he had, but he couldn't feel it. It didn't ease the pain he was in. How sad that so many people loved him.
Yes.
And yet he didn't know that.
And it's sad to me when there's an outpouring of love and support and affection of, oh, he was one of my heroes. Yes, and it does make me realize you should tell the people that you admire now because it could be too late.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So we should speak out and say, I really like you. You mean a lot to me.
Yes, and go support local restaurants in his, in his honor. His honor. Yes, that's a nice thing to do when you feel helpless in cases like this. Well, one person's art is another's offense. An iconic Marilyn Monroe statue is causing a stir in Connecticut. Marilyn is holding down her white dress from the 1955 movie The 7-Year Itch. But the First Congressional Church is getting a full view of her backside and her underwear. The statue is part of a citywide art display, but church members say it is disrespectful to have her rear view at the church. What do you think about this?
Well, maybe they could spin her around.
Oh, come on.
But
She's
my
a
mother would say,
It's
okay,
paint.
if you're looking out the window at her, your eyes are going in the wrong direction. You should be looking toward the pastor, toward the pulpit area.
Yes. I believe she came from Chicago. I believe this very statue came from Chicago, and the number of tourists that would take pictures under her skirt from the backside was overwhelming. We have this here on the Suncoast.
Yes.
Unconditional surrender caused quite a stir, but people, every time I drive by, you see someone looking under the nurse.
We have a picture like that from when she first came.
We do.
Yes, it's just fun.
Yeah.
We can't laugh anymore. We've
It's
gotten
just
so
paint
uptight.
and plaster. It's
Yes.
not somebody's real butt.
No, this is true. This is true. And I'm with you. I don't know how I would feel if I had to walk out of my business every day and look at it, but I don't think it would bother me.
You would stop seeing it.
And it's temporary, right? It's not
Yes,
gonna be
it
there
won't be
forever.
there forever. And I think she was such an icon that I think I would be more concerned with her and the memory of her and what she represented rather than, literally the marble underpants of a statue.
You know what I like? We have a statue at Ringling Museum, just as you go into the art center, of a lady without clothes on a bull. This is a very historic thing. Philadelphia said, we can't use that statue. It's too shocking.
Oh.
And so we took it. I mean, we're pretty wild.
We're
aren't
more
we?
progressive than we get credit for.
Yes.
All right, well, as all brides know, buying a wedding dress can really wipe out your budget. But a California man has found a new solution to help the bottom line. The costume designer has created a stunning wedding dress out of 53 rolls of quilted northern ultra soft toilet paper. It is ombre gold and resembles vintage crocheted lace.
Wow.
The dress is actually a finalist in the annual TP Wedding Dress Contest. I just hope for the bride's case it doesn't rain.
Seriously.
Well, I was thinking the wedding dress will probably last as long as the marriage.
Wow, you don't know anything about these people.
I mean, it does tell you there is a contest for everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's some beautiful work with the toilet
Yes,
paper.
it is.
Yes.
And then you don't have, later on, you don't have to wonder what to do with it.
No, see, there you go.
What do
I
you
had-
do with it?
You won't be wearing that again,
yes.
for sure. All right,
It's useful.
I'm gonna get us out of this
Yeah.
conversation quickly, and we're gonna check in with our happy hour forecast. And when we come back, we're gonna take a trip back in time with South Florida Museum.
Good afternoon. With the second week in June here, we don't see our afternoon and evening thunderstorm patterns starting quite yet, but we do have some big storms inland areas. Hi, I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your first alert weather update. You can see a line of intense storms making their way through Highlands County now. Also another line developing in East Manatee County near Wauchula, and also just the southeast of Northport. There's one lone shower there. Not much near the coast. Another great beach day today. That isolated activity moving off to the east at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Some heavy weather along State Road 64 into Manatee County east of the interstate there. You can see the clouds and moisture moving up from the south. There's still a little weak area of low pressure hanging on in the Gulf of Mexico. In the upper levels of the atmosphere, on top of that, high pressure located to our south will favor mainly inland storms again on Tuesday. The water vapor imagery showing a relatively dry air in place over west central Florida. That's starting to get kicked out of here by some moisture coming up from the south. We'll let you know about the rest of the work week forecast coming up today at 5. Hope to see you then.
Today is the 25th anniversary of the classic film Jurassic Park, but you can travel millions of years into the past yourself with the help of South Florida Museum. Here to tell us about the history of dinosaurs and other creatures in Florida is Jeff Rogers from the South Florida Museum. Welcome, Jeff. Now,
Thank you, Linda.
Florida sort of came later on, I gather, so do we actually have dinosaurs in Florida?
We do. When dinosaurs were just getting started, this was hundreds of millions of years ago, Florida was actually right in the center of all of that action.
Really?
So there are going to be great dinosaur fossils for somebody someday. But the problem is, about 2 miles of limestone built up on top of those fossils while Florida was underwater, so we don't get to see those fossils today.
Wow, that's a long way to dig down.
Nobody's going to dig that far, but as that all erodes away over the years, maybe your great, keep on going grandchild will find those dinosaur fossils in Florida thousands of years from now.
Wow. I will look forward to that. I hope they save pictures. Now, there are some descendants of the dinosaurs here, aren't
Yes.
they? We've got strange-looking birds.
We have some really strange-looking birds. Most of us know that the dinosaurs became extinct. We think 65 million years ago. New evidence says 66 million years ago. But not all of the dinosaurs became extinct in that event. There was one lineage that made it through, and we call them birds. So every time you
Really?
see a bird, you eat dinosaur for Thanksgiving.
Oh, my goodness.
Doesn't that make you feel powerful?
I told him to behave. Oh, my goodness. And any particular birds that were closer to the dinosaurs?
We saw some lineages. So I brought this guy with me today. This is just a foot from an animal that we called Titanus walleri, or the terror bird.
The terror bird.
The terror bird.
That's
And
a big foot.
It is
That's a
big
huge foot, and it belongs to a 9-foot tall animal. It was
Wow.
flightless, like
terrifying.
well, isn't it? Based on its muscles, we figure he could run about 43 miles per hour.
Wow.
He was a carnivore, so he ate meat. So they could chase you down, pin you down with these talons right here, and they just had this horrific beak that would just do you in at the end. So they lived in Florida between 2 and 3 million years ago. And we find some of the fossils of the feet. That's why I brought that one. So we know that they were here. And I'm not a fan of extinctions, but I'm kind of glad these guys aren't here
Be
with
hard
us
to keep
anymore.
him in a zoo.
The flamingos and all those I'm good with.
Yes,
but
yes.
not the 9-foot tall meat eaters.
Could anything
Wow.
have been a predator for them? I mean, what could have gotten them?
It turns out, so these evolved in South America, where they didn't have really good, smart mammals. But they walked up into North America around 4 million years ago. And that's when they met up with the big saber-toothed cats and the dire wolves. And wolves and cats are smarter than birds. So they didn't stand a chance with the smart saber-toothed cats.
Thank
Well,
goodness.
now, yeah.
So thank your kitty.
What about our alligators and reptiles and snakes and
Right.
things?
So a lot of people, when they come to Florida, they think alligators, because they don't get to see them where they're from, and they think that they're descendants of the dinosaurs, but they're not.
Oh, really?
They're not.
They look so similar. I mean,
Well, they're scaly, they have big teeth, they have that. But if we take a look at the picture, the big difference between the two, the definition of a dinosaur is it has a hole in its hip socket that allows its legs to come down straight beneath its body, like a column. So it doesn't matter if it's T-Rex or one of the big long necks, like a Diplodocus. But then you look at an alligator or a crocodile, and their legs are sprawled out to the side, which is the way
Good
that
for
we say
us.
that they are not too closely related. And that alligators are not as fast as those guys would have been.
So those guys would have eaten the alligators? Well, there weren't any, though.
Well, actually, there were. So alligators were around at the same time. And those guys made it through that extinction event while the dinosaurs did not.
Oh, I see. So alligators were a part of that. They would have been around when this guy was there.
They would have been around.
Oh
yes.
my goodness, this is so exciting.
Isn't it though?
It makes me want to know more about it. And I can find out more at the South Florida Museum.
Yes.
Yay. This will be great for the kids. They'll love every minute of it. For more information on Florida history and more fun events for the summer, visit South Florida Museum and go to their website. Next, what does the recent Supreme Court ruling mean for businesses and for free speech? We'll tackle this hot legal topic.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Some of the Sarasota County School Board is meeting with local law enforcement tomorrow to talk about a plan for school security.
We'll tell you how they want to keep the kids safe. That's tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
A big ridge of high pressure sprawling across central Florida brings us sunny and dry conditions. How long does that last? We'll talk about it.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small, so Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
A controversial story hit the headlines when the Supreme Court voted in favor of the baking company that refused an order for a gay couple. The justices voted 7-2 that Colorado baker Jack Phillips was demonstrating his First Amendment rights with his refusal, and that future cases will have to elaborate on the issue as to resolve with tolerance, but without disrespect to religious beliefs. Well, we have Kathy Carson-Fryman here, and as a Suncoast attorney, we want your voice in the discussion. So help us understand. It sounds to me they ruled in favor of religious freedom, but they say it can't be used to discriminate?
Yeah, and it's a very narrow ruling, and not only did the court itself say this only applies in this specific case, and if the issue is revisited upon us, we may rule differently in the future. Not only that, but Colorado had some very specific, well, basically, they had a law that said you can't discriminate. Okay. But that very same law had some exceptions. Basically, they were letting business owners not do things that they found offensive. In fact, 3 bakers had refused to bake cakes that had anti-gay sentiments on them. That had been something that they allowed. So they have this law. It's kind of a weak law. They've already made this one exception. Then they have a Colorado official who basically comes out and makes it very, if there was any doubt that it was about religion, makes it very much about religion, basically saying that this baker's religious views are despicable, makes some comparisons with the people back in slavery times. Oh, wow. So there were a lot of very specific things here, so that when they say this is narrow, it is a very narrow ruling. And it also, at the same time, they said, if this guy, if somebody comes to him and they're gay and they want to buy a cupcake, you know, this isn't something that they could use this rule to say, we're not selling you cupcakes. This is about religion and about his views on marriage and what that means.
So it seems like neither side is really celebrating a win with this. And do you think that this ruling will apply to others? Will people go back to this ruling, or is it so specific to this case?
Well, they'll try and go back to this ruling for sure, whether or not that'll be successful, because I think that you're going to see this come up again very soon with the same court. So it's, you know, in years later, it might be that they can use this, but with the same court and very soon, they're going to know what they meant.
Okay.
Well, I think we have the power to vote ourselves. Don't go to that baker. That's how we've done business for in all time. If somebody does something offensive to you, don't take your business there. He would have made a terrible cake anyway. I mean, who would want a cake from this guy? So I say, don't go to that baker, and he might change his mind.
See, I used to argue the other side of, you know, it's principle, and if you live in a small town and there's only one bakery, you know, shouldn't the law protect you? But it sounds like they're really, this is gonna keep coming up, like Kathy's saying. We're gonna keep seeing. Yes. So it isn't necessarily you don't jump to the extreme from this case. Not yet. Interesting stuff. I'm certain we're gonna be talking about it again. And Kathy, we're glad you're here for the legal help. All right, coming up next, a throwback to Dad's favorite childhood toys.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Florida Studio Theater presents Always Patsy Cline, now held over due to popular demand. A tuneful and memorable tribute, Patsy Cline's rise to legendary stardom is told through the eyes of her biggest fan. Featuring such hit songs as Walkin' After Midnight, I Fall to Pieces, Crazy, and many more you know and love. Critics are calling Always Patsy Cline warm and genuine and engaging. Audiences calling it outstanding. Always Patsy Cline is now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, we're getting so wet.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. Let's check back in the kitchen with Paul from BurgerFi. Paul, settle an argument for us. The name BurgerFi, where did it come from? What does it mean?
So BurgerFi stands for Burgerification of the Nation. You know, it's funny you ask. I hear Wi-Fi all the time,
Yes.
or Semperfi. You know, so you know, it bases from we have our own farm where we raise all our own cattle at. There's no antibiotics, no steroids, no hormones that we add into the beef. There's not injections. They're humanely raised, so we just consider it a better beef product than you would get anywhere else. We serve the top 1% of beef throughout the United States.
Well, all right, so not only was I very, very wrong, because I thought it had to do with Wi-Fi as well, but it's also great news. It's great backstory to learn a little bit more about how socially conscious your menu is. Well, we can't wait to join you a little later on in the show to make our own burgers.
Awesome,
all right,
thank
we'll
you.
see you in a little bit. Well, they may be our dads, but they are still kids at heart, and nothing brings out the nostalgia more than a look back at our childhood toys. Here with a throwback to Dad's favorite toys is Rob and Susanna Versandi from Toys Around the Clock. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to be back.
Oh, what fun you are.
Yes.
Some things to play
It
with.
can be tough to think of our dads sometimes as kids, you know, when they were kids, but when you look at, you brought toys that spread, you know, generations. Is there one particular theme? You know, did dads particularly like one kind of toy?
Well, it seems like children responded, whatever age they would be, to some of the pop culture of the time. And we talked about the fact that cartoons were very instrumental in creating toys for the kids. And there's a good array here of some of that material that we brought in. And as you say, it's multi-generation.
Oh, great. Well, let's start with the first one. Is that Felix the cat down there?
Well, it's called Crazy Cat, but the toy itself started out as Felix. And then, for whatever reasons, the licensing was lost, so they changed it to Crazy Cat, altered the cat figure a little bit, but essentially it's the same toy. And both the cat and, of course, the toy itself moves, and he never catches the mice, which is kind of good, I guess.
Yes, that makes us feel good.
That's right.
Yes,
We picture ourselves as the mice.
There you go.
He keeps trying. A good old-fashioned pull toy.
Yeah.
All right, so then we move down. You have, I think, is it Captain Video? This is where it gets a little more sci-fi?
Yeah, again, in the early 50s of TV, they brought on a show called Captain Video, and of course, video television. And it was a bare-bones science fiction show. I think they had one set, and most of the action took place off-set, and they responded to it accordingly in front of the cameras. But it was quite popular for its time, and a bunch of toys came out. That's one of the few sets still around.
Oh, wow. Well, that kind of leads us into a name that we all know, which is Buck Rogers. Is this is where it kind of stepped up a little bit?
Absolutely right. The rocket ship that you see in front there is from the 30s. It's Buck Rogers Mark's rocket ship. It's a wind-up. It used to shoot sparks out of the back end. And if you ever saw the movie The Hunter with Steve McQueen, that's one of his favorite toys. He was a big toy collector. And he's working on that rocket ship in the movie. You'll see him with his screwdriver fooling around with it. And it's quite a tough piece to find.
Wow. And the big box that's in front of Kathy, are you making your own
Correct.
Buck Rogers toys?
They brought out at a time when I guess it was okay for kids to get involved with things that had heat.
I know we had a toy that just shot sparks out of it, and now they're heating up their own metal.
You actually melted lead.
Oh, wow.
You poured it into little molds, and you got these little guys that you see in front there. And,
the little silver guy.
Oh, wow.
And there must have been about 30 or 40 figures, depending upon how many sets of molds you bought. And once they were cast and looked like that, you could then paint them, which a lot of kids did.
Oh, Kathy, your 7-year-old would love that.
Well, I'm going to stay away from the lead.
Right. It seems like we have learned a few things as time has gone on. Well, the Buck Rogers sci-fi craze kind of carried over, and then it looks like we saw a lot more robots coming on the scene. Is that true?
Yeah. We can move on to the robots here. The little ray gun that's there from the 50s was a very special ray gun because with batteries it both lit up, made a sound, and if you were very facile you could do Morse code with it.
Oh, wow.
So that was quite a very interesting toy for the kids. Getting into the robots now, this first piece here, this Magic Robot game, actually was kind of instructional because there are questions that the sheet has, and you try to answer them. If you can't, you put the robot on it, and the robot will point to the answer.
Oh, I wish we had one today. I have a lot of questions I'd like answered.
It's like a magic 8 ball. Do you feel like toys had a little bit more, they required more imagination
Yes.
when we're looking at this generation?
Absolutely right. I think things like this, casting sets, there were casting sets that were for plaster. You could make figures out of plaster by pouring them into molds. It all required a child to sort of get involved with craft, not just move something around that's made of plastic.
Sure. Let's look at the robots.
Sure.
It's interesting to see how people's perception of what robots would look like changed, and actually was kind of similar, too.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not that far off from what we have today.
That's correct. This one, which was I think one of the first robots, is Robbie the Robot from Ideal. Unfortunately, he doesn't work much anymore, but was the first one to be offered. And with the little control stick, you'd maybe move forward, his arms would go up and down, his light would light up, his head would turn. It was a very interesting toy, but they don't wear well, as you can probably guess. So somebody played this one all the way out. This one in front here is a repro of an early robot, and we picked him up not too long ago, and he still works. You put the key and wind him up, and he kind of walks, and his arms move.
He looks like a Lego figure.
Doesn't
I mean, there's,
he?
so,
Yes.
there's so many similarities to what was a later toy.
Right,
That's
Its
crazy.
arms, yes.
All right, so drawing. Kids loved to draw, even back then. So tell us about this series.
Even back then. Art was not discovered in the last 20 years.
Well, John Nagy was the original Bob Ross. He had about 15 minutes, I think, on one of the stations, probably Channel 5 up in New York. And he would teach you how to draw. And these kits that are offered now contained everything you needed. Conti crayons, paper, some basic rules as to how to approach the drawings. And it was fascinating. The child could just sit on the floor in front of the TV and follow with John Nagy.
Wow.
And you could create these very easy landscapes, but they looked great once you finished them,
Well, drawing kind of leads us into comics. So I know that we have some Dick Tracy items here, and then that also kind of Dick Tracy leads us into Batman, which it's amazing to me that Batman has continued to come back again and again in different forms. Linda and I can kind of rock and sock him a little bit here. Our aim's not terribly good.
You guys aren't great at this.
And what era would you say this Batman is? I'm trying to guess by the illustration.
That's probably from the early 90s, I believe.
Okay, so this
The
is
early 90s,
one of the more
so it's
current
not
Batman.
that old.
Yeah.
Yes.
This reflects the animated series that was done not too long ago.
Yeah, because my son got one of these, not Batman, but the other one when, I guess in the 60s.
Yes,
Oh.
exactly right.
And then a toy that certainly has come back, the Star Wars franchise. I know that we had an attic full of toys, Star Wars toys. Talk us through a little bit about the longevity of Star Wars toys.
Well, it's interesting because in 1977, Kenner got the contract to go ahead and produce Star Wars toys. So if you were lucky enough and smart enough to keep those toys on the blister packs in a box somewhere, you'd be worth a lot of money today. These pieces that are displayed below the counter here, these came out in the late 90s, I believe. Most coveted because of their size. They are huge.
Yeah, they're much bigger than the first release. The first release was only about 4 inches tall.
Exactly right. And much more detailed, and trying to find these is very, very difficult.
Wow.
Especially boxed the way they are. Pretty much as they came off the toy shelf.
That's why you are the collector with the enviable collection.
Yes.
It's fun to see kind of what everything has changed, but a lot of things have stayed the same with dear old Dad. Well, for more info about Toys Around the Clock and all of their great collection of toys, you can visit their website, toysaroundtheclock.com. Coming up next, our beauty expert talks to us about summer skincare.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. 2 candidates remain in the race for Sarasota County Schools police chief, when a decision is expected to be made. Plus, time is running out to see an exhibit that highlights the global marine debris crisis, where you can check it out before it closes. Let's get a check now on our first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Well, we're still not settled in yet, Scott, to our afternoon and evening thunderstorm pattern. That isn't going to be happening for a while. We have a persistent area of low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico, which has kind of suppressed the surface high down to the south. It's actually out in the Gulf, but it's kind of meandering around. It needs to be situated just to the east of the state off the Carolina coast to give us that easterly flow throughout much of the day, and those afternoon storms progress toward the coast. But right now, most of the activity inland pushing away from the coast, as you see right there. Some heavy weather into Highlands County, also another line developing in East Manatee County. Well, much more on your forecast coming up at 5. See you then.
Like ABC7 on Facebook to stay connected to the team you trust.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Well, the sun is out, and it is the perfect time of year to talk summer beauty products with our beauty expert, Mickey Williams. And Mickey, today you've brought us a mineral sunscreen called Tizo Age Defying Fusion. Tell us about it.
Well, first of all, let's kind of like differentiate between chemical and physical sunscreens. First of all, chemical sunscreens, they actually have to have a chemical reaction with the sun. So think about it. You put it on your skin, and then the sun comes in, and then it has this chemical kind of reaction, and it repels the sun. Physical blocks actually are made from minerals like titanium and zinc oxide, and they sit on top of your skin and they block without letting the sun ever come in. They basically are a lot better for sensitive skin people because they don't have to have this kind of like absorption of a chemical. They're non-chemical. But what's so amazing about Tizo is that it is a mineral sunscreen, but the name, as you can imagine, titanium and zinc oxide is kind of the bread there. It's doctor derived, but it's also free of parabens, free of preservatives, free of dyes, free of gluten, chemical free, fragrance free, oil free. It's kind of everything. It's great for anybody with sensitive skin, but it's an incredible, incredible sunscreen in the same process.
Wow. Is it a white thing that sits
no.
on your nose?
So that's what I think a lot of people have to realize is that zinc has really grown up. They can have particleized zinc, but they can also have these incredible formulas. So you might have to take a little bit of work in, but even with some of these products, what I love about this brand is that they come in tinted and non-tinted formulas. So you have so much to work with, but you don't have to have that lifeguard nose. It's wonderful. I used it all day yesterday paddleboarding with my niece and nephew, and there were no complaints. I didn't embarrass anybody. And I actually got 0 sun. I had to fake tan this morning. So.
All right, let's take a look at what you brought.
So first off, what I want to talk about is Tizo 3, okay? And what's great about this product is it's actually tinted, but what's beautiful is it's mattifying. It's loaded with antioxidants basically all throughout it. It's got A's and E's in there, or C and E. But what I want to show you right now is you see that tint that really works well with all skin types. Now this is a facial primer, so what you're going to do is you can put this on your face, you can use it under or over your makeup.
That looks good.
It works beautifully, beautifully under your makeup.
And it's
but
really
it's so smooth, it's mattifying. It's great, it's got SPF 40 in it, and that's going to stick with you for about water resistant for about 80 minutes. So it's a wonderful product for you to use under your makeup. I love the tint because it works with all skin types.
Yes.
But hey, don't worry. Joey, it comes in an untinted formula too, which is gorgeous because guys are really they're caught up with, oh, it's going to be goopy or it's going to be shiny on my skin. No, it's great. It's mattifying. So you see the primer works beautifully on skin alone or under makeup, but you guys can wear it. It actually works. And women, it's an awesome choice to wear and reapply over our makeup rather than powder. I love
that it's in both tinted and non-tinted. That's a big deal.
And that's what we see sometimes a lot with facial products, but what I love is that they actually offer it for body products too, which is genius. So the next product that we're going to talk about is Tizo. This is their tinted ultra zinc body and face sunscreen, right? So I'm going to try this out on you. This is the tinted version, same beautiful antioxidant qualities that you have in there with the C and the E. We're going to work this in. This isn't quite as mattifying. What this is very silky. You can use this on your face, you can use it on your body.
And it's going in.
Everywhere.
It's blending.
I love it. It's absolutely stunning. Now feel your skin now. I want you to feel that.
Oh, that's nice.
It's silky.
I like it.
There's no other explanation for it. Now again, we're seeing that this isn't going to penetrate into our skin. This is going to sit on top of our skin. We're going to have that SPF 40 protection, but we're also going to be able to go into the water and go into the areas, but we're not going to have breakouts and things that are associated with the chemicals. We can use this on our face and even our body. Tinted version and untinted version. The untinted version is absolutely gorgeous, still same. You see how it just blends right in. You're going to start out with a little bit of blending that's needed, but then you're going to go right in. Again, this is great for if you want to apply over. It's not as quite as mattifying as a Tizo 3 or Tizo 2, but it's a great option if you want like that dewy look, right? I love it. And it's great for the face and the body.
Wow.
And it doesn't make you break out. No, well, I mean, everybody's going to be different, of course, because some people are just a little bit anything sitting on their skin. But what's great about this is it is actually a lot more, it's better derived, better targeted towards sensitive skin people. All physical sunblock is. Because you're not having to absorb it. Yeah.
So it comes in another form as well.
This is even, I mean, this is incredible, right? Okay, who wants to give me another hand? And again, it's going to come, this is a broad spectrum coverage, UVA, UVB. I think this is a great formula right now because this actually is their sheer foam. I love this foam because this is really, really good for kids. It does come in that tinted formula, but you see how thin it is? You can work it in. This is great. It's SPF 30. You can just keep working it. It gives you this really lovely kind of sheer quality. It's great if you're kind of having to work fast. I love the fact that it's in that kind of a foam quality, but it also comes in the non-tinted version. So you have all of these. And then
now what about our lips? Because I know you can't ignore any kind of lip protection.
This is absolutely, again, 100% incredible. They came out with their tinted lip protection. I love this product because you have SPF 45. It's water resistant again. It comes with this beautiful tint. What's great about this product is it's great to go around your lips a little bit, like if you want to go just slightly around, if you want to go over. You can see the color there. The color is great for male and female. What it does is actually, we forget about our lips. That's the first place that we forget about, and that's going to be the first place for us to show signs of aging because that skin is so thin. You put this on, you wait it out. We constantly put things on our lips that actually magnify the sun to our lips. This is actually working amazingly at kind of repelling that sun, blocking that sun from your lips. And what I love about it the most is, ladies, it works insane under your lipstick. So chances are your lipstick does not have an SPF in it. This is a great product to wear underneath it, and it's going to work again as an ultimate primer.
It's great. And 80 minutes, that's amazing.
That's incredible.
This is in perfect timing as we are getting into the the hot days of summer and all of that sun. Thank you so much. This is great. We love when we get all these new products from Mickey. For more information,
they make you look better.
You can go to TizoFusion.com. You can also check out Tizo products at doctors' offices, med spas, or online at Amazon.com. All right, thank you, Mickey. We'll be right back.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
All right, well, our friends at Sonic have a new refreshing treat to keep us cool during the heat of the summer. Introducing, get ready for this, the Pickle Juice Slush.
What?
It is now available at Sonic locations, including 2 new ones here on the Suncoast. Among the less offensive choices are the new Bahama Mama, the Blue Hawaiian, and Tiger's Blood, they call it. I have no idea what is in that. Pickle Juice Slush, would you try it?
Okay, if you buy that, you deserve to drink it. Anybody that would pay money for that
So
thing.
it's pickle juice, and then you mix it with those other flavors?
I think those are the other flavors that are on this menu, I believe. I think
Okay.
the Pickle Juice Slush is its own flavor.
Okay.
I'll tell you that when we went to the Virgin Islands a few years ago, they served pickle martinis.
Mhm.
It sounds disgusting.
It does.
But when you think...
Well, no,
when
I mean, you
think,
put a pickle in a
yeah,
drink.
or an olive martini, a pickle, it's kind of the same. It was delicious.
Yeah. Really?
Absolutely delicious. Yes.
I might have the Tiger's Blood. I am not going for pickle juice.
Yes, but I think I actually was more into the martini part than
Yeah,
the pickle
right.
flavor. But we'll see. All right, we don't think we're going to be trying it anytime soon, but we will try a nice burger with Burger Fi. We're heading into the kitchen.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
This is an ABC7 News Update.
Well, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at the top of the hour. City officials say homelessness is declining in Sarasota. How the city is making some strides to combat chronic homelessness. In First Alert traffic right now, we're seeing some congestion as you head south on US 301 in the area around downtown Sarasota. This is near the intersection with Fruitville Road. Let's get another check on the weather with Bob now.
Well, not a problem as far as weather goes traveling around town here, at least along the coast and mainly east of I-75, well east of I-75 is where the storms are. Big storms down to our south, though. What we have is a little area of low pressure still hanging out in the Gulf of Mexico, and with a west wind, all that activity pushing off basically to the east. There's not a lot going on near the immediate coast. One lone shower there near Northport, stretching down toward Charlotte Harbor. That's been about it. The outflow boundary from some of these storms may try to work their way west, but for the time being, all of it inland pushing to the east. Details at 5.
ABC7 News at 7 weeknights.
My credit
credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
My name's Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
When ABC7 declares a First Alert Weather Day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert Weather Day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A First Alert Weather Day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Coming up Tuesday at 4 on Suncoast View, we're getting ready to celebrate dear old Dad this Father's Day. We'll make Father's Day crafts with the Makers Market workshops. We'll learn how easy it is to make something from the heart. Startling statistics show that some Suncoast veterans are at risk. We'll learn about the new services offered from Goodwill. Plus, Linda introduces us to an amazing Suncoast woman, and Nancy's Barbecue joins us in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We're here with Paul from BurgerFi. What are we making?
We're making the candy bacon jam that goes on the CEO burger. It is our higher quality beef. It's a mixture between a Wagyu and a brisket blend. So we're going to go through the steps. I think they got the recipe on the website, right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's a bacon jam, you said? So it's got to start with bacon.
Okay, I'll hold it down, you cut. Watch the fingers.
You want to cut it into quarters, okay?
Quarters, okay.
Yep, so, yep, right there, and then...
Here we go.
I can't cut it without, you're going to have to cut this.
Don't hear that very often.
All right.
I've never seen someone use a knife like
knife. Yes. But she's demonstrated her knife skills on our show many times.
That is
It works.
Right.
It works.
Throw it in the... For the cooking bacon already.
So we got to separate it a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, this is good.
We want to cook the bacon until it's real crispy. We want to have a nice crisp to it.
Okay.
So it's going to loosen back up once we put all the liquids into it here in a minute.
And it'll separate, obviously, the bacon fat comes out.
Yep,
Do we need, we use that in the recipe?
What, the bacon fat?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll once we get done getting all the bacon crispy, we'll separate it. With the crispy bacon and the bacon fat, we'll preserve 4 ounces of the bacon fat, and we'll use that to brown our onions and finish
for
all
right, I love that you don't leave any of the bacon left. So we're going to skip ahead because you've already... Oh, no, not yet.
So that's the separated bacon,
oh, great.
just crispy. We want to grab our onions, and we're going to throw it into our bacon fat right here.
Okay.
All right. Let's crank this up. We want to brown our onions.
Okay. Does browning work better if you don't move things around?
It does, yes.
Okay.
Yep, you want it. Well, the bacon we're cooking until it's crispy, so we'll get this done first usually, and then we'll jump over to the onions after we get the bacon done. Okay?
It's cooking.
So
you've got your, we're browning our onions, and then we'll jump ahead a little bit because I know it'll take a little longer to brown than what we have
here.
Go
ahead. We can go ahead and throw the rest of the ingredients in after the onions are browned.
So
doesn't matter what order.
Here's the bacon.
Yep, you got a crispy bacon.
I've got a long way to go to get to
Yeah,
that.
we do. All right, we got our tomatoes.
Yes.
We want diced tomatoes.
Diced tomatoes.
In the restaurant, we use the ends of the tomatoes so that we're not using any waste because we use the insides for our burgers.
Oh.
So we got our sugar here.
Sugar. I mean, we're having bacon fat. We
Yep.
might as well go all in.
And then we want to add our vinegar. The herbs we're going to wait until the very end to add,
Okay.
okay?
Both?
Yep, both of them.
Kathy always accuses me of using sugar in things when I tell her it doesn't have any. See, it's a good thing.
She saw it this
Yep.
time, so there's no
Yeah.
tricking.
All right, so we're going to mix all this stuff together. And then we're going to let it reduce until half the liquid's gone.
Okay.
All right, it's going to take probably about 20, 25 minutes to get through this step. We want to have it like a medium to high heat, like a little simmer, not too much, okay?
Okay.
It burns very easily, so when you get to the very end, you got to be careful.
You'll turn it down.
Yep.
So, all right, so you have some finished that's in front of us.
Right up here, I got the bacon jam that's all completed.
All right.
So that's kind of consistency you're going to want to have right here when you pick it up. Not have many juices coming off.
Great.
But good to go.
All right, so we're coming up on our end here, so we're going to start to prep this. This bacon jam sounds amazing. It sounds like we can put it on everything, but we'll want it on your burgers. BurgerFi, I know you have all different types of burgers on the menu,
do.
including a meatless one that is difficult. You fooled me when I've had it before. It's absolutely wonderful. And you have a special coming up, $5 burgers?
$5 BurgerFi cheeseburgers on Monday.
All right, well, then great reason to go on Monday. Thank you, Paul. You can find him at BurgerFi, and you can also make the tomato jam. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Always
you.
great to have you. And now that you're Linda's neighbor, I hope we'll be seeing you a little bit more.
Lots of crazy
All right.
stories.
Take
Yeah, I'll
some
teach you to
time.
cook.
Enjoy
Finally.
the Suncoast view.
Right. Thank you.